good, Commanders fans? Training camp recap day 2. Dyami Brown looked really, really good from what I heard, man. His stock is rising now. I know it's just training camp and practice. Dyami has done well in training camp and practices before. We just got to see it in the games, and I think they're going to make it a point for him to get the football this year and get more involved. It's going to be tough, of course, with Terry, Jahan, and Curtis. They're going to get a lot of targets. Terry's going to get a bunch of targets, of course. Jahan's going to get a bunch of targets. But we saw the potential that Dyami had in that Tennessee game where he had those 2 really, really nice touchdown catches from Carson Wentz. Can he do something other than a go route? And he made some good catches last year, but he was just, he was kind of just left out. And some people under my video for the Pringle video, they said Dyami Brown could be a surprise kid. And I was like, nah, I don't see that happening. So I definitely think he kind of shut that down today. But he's got to show up in the preseason. Last year he had a bad preseason where he was dropping the ball in the Ravens game, but I think he can step up and definitely make more of an impact than what he did the last 2 seasons for sure. But it's just going to be tough when you got 3 dogs in front of you like Terry, Jahan, and Curtis. So we'll see. All right, so we're going to do the play-by-play. I am going to show a couple of clips. I'm going to show 2 clips. I do want to give these guys credit for their clips that they put out. The first person is, this is the Terry McLaurin catch against Mayo Forbes. I'm just going to show that while I'm talking. I'm not going to really kind of dissect the play, but I'll just show while I'm talking. I got to find the guy's name who put it up on social media. So Terry McLaurin, he beats what's his name? He beats Emmanuel Forbes for a really nice catch. I think his name is Rip Dan Snyder on Twitter. And Terry McLaurin goes down the sideline for a really nice catch, and it was a nice quick double move, and it kind of reminds me of the Dallas game where Sam Howell hit Terry McLaurin down the sideline. So that's one clip I'm going to show, and then I'm going to show a clip where Dyami Brown had a catch against Rashad Wildgoose, the pass was from Sam Howell. He caught a touchdown pass. So I'm gonna look for their names. I'm gonna definitely shout them out at the end of the video for sure. I think the other guy, I can't find his name right now. I'm tripping on that. The other guy, let's see here. Yeah, his name is Mason, and he has a podcast. It is Keeping Up with the Commanders. He does a podcast called Keeping Up with the Commanders. So he's the one that got the footage. Now, just talking about the atmosphere and the energy of the place, I mean, I heard it was electric. The stands were filled. This is day 1 where fans were allowed. They do have shuttle buses going from Dulles to the training camp facility, to the Commanders facility. So I heard the buses, that was kind of janky. This one person tweeted out, you might as well get there at 8 a.m. and then take the bus over there, or take an Uber from the parking lot and instead of getting on one of those cheese yellow buses to get there. But it is what it is. I don't know if I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna try to go on Saturday, so that should be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a lot of people there. I heard it was packed, the stands were packed. People had to stand up, standing room only, basically there at Commanders training camp. So that's lit. And Josh Harris was there once again. I saw fans take selfies with him, pictures. That's why I said, you see Josh Harris with the Philadelphia Sixers. He's always in the crowd or in the front court or in the court. He's always courtside. He's not like Dan, where Dan's not going to take a selfie with a fan. He's not going to, interact with fans. Josh Harris is going to be out there in the field. He's going to interact with fans for sure, and that's something that you're going to get from an owner. I just want Josh Harris to step back and just let the GM do his thing. Whoever the GMs, let them do their thing, and let the coaches coach. Let the GM pick the players. Let the coaches pick their players. That's all I want from Josh Harris and Magic Johnson and the new ownership group. So let's get into the play-by-play here. This is from Lanell Williams from 106.7 The Fan. He says, Christian Hall's making another play. Nice job picking off Jacoby Brissett on a short pass. I'm sorry, that was yesterday. So Bleeding Burgundy and Gold, make sure you guys subscribe to his YouTube channel. I'm going to put his link down below in the description. He says, Howell just casually dropping dot after dot off the back foot. He also says, one playoff team session, Howell rolls out left and hits Terry McLaurin in the flats. Lake Lewis Jr. also said, with Sam Howell, it appears he looks for tight ends, and Terry McLaurin reminds him of Kansas City, where tight ends and Tyreek Hill did damage. So that's big praise. That's a big comparison, of course, with the Eric Bieniemy, him coming from Kansas City. So it definitely makes sense. They're going to target Logan Thomas a lot. Cole Turner. Logan Thomas had a really nice catch yesterday. So I think Logan Thomas definitely going to get a lot of targets this year. Same thing with Cole Turner. And Terry McLaurin, he's always going to do his thing, as always. All right. Daron Payne. So Ron Rivera addressed that. He addressed the media, saying earlier in the presser he was asked about Daron Payne, who has still not attended practice with a toe injury. Rivera said the issue is minor, and it did not seem concerned with his absence. So I think Daron Payne's going to be fine for the season. He's day-to-day right now, but I think he's definitely going to be ready for the season for sure. Authentic, one of my guys, Authentic in the beard. Make sure you guys subscribe to their YouTube channel. Shout out to those guys. They were at training camp today. He said that Sam Howell can spin it. Here in person, and the kid throws a great deep ball. No speedster on Washington offense, but Dyami Brown looks ready to go. Caught a deep touchdown. I do disagree with what he said. Authentic is a Giants fan, so he should know better, seeing how Jahan cooked their defense last year and Terry McLaurin has cooked their defense for years. He also said Forbes is skinny, but he is putting clamps on every wide receiver. So that's good to hear from about Emmanuel Forbes. He did get cooked by Terry McLaurin, but it's Terry McLaurin, so I mean I can't really get mad at that at all. So I agree with the 2 out of the 3 things that Authentic said. I do agree with, but the one that said we have no speedster, Curtis Samuels is a speedster, Terry McLaurin is a speedster, and John is a speedster. Honestly, like they're not like a Deshaun Jackson type of speedster, but they're certainly speedsters for sure. Grant Paulson said Sam Howell just hit a home run ball to Terry McLaurin on a deep ball. McLaurin beat Forbes down the field and made an acrobatic catch, falling out of bounds. Howell throws a really good deep ball. So that was basically the clip that I showed you guys in earlier. Chris Russell said Jacoby Brissett with a gorgeous throw on a go route to Dyami Brown, who had to high point the ball a bit over Tyreek Castro Fields, probably about 45 yards. So a lot of people talked about that play. They said that he mossed Tyreek Castro Fields on that play. Now the Commanders may show that clip on Instagram or on Twitter. We'll see later. But Dyami Brown's making plays, man, and that's the 50-50 stuff we need to see from him. Zach Selby also said the same thing. Dyami Brown just made the catch of the day from Jacoby Brissett. Made a contested catch over Castro Fields near the 10-yard line. The crowd erupted. Also, Chase Young was beating Charles Leno a lot today from what I heard. I saw some clips on social media as well. He definitely was beating Charles Leno. Now, that's not saying much, but it's good to see the explosiveness and the get-off from Chase Young and just showing that he's healthy. So that's good to see. Also, Zach Selby said Dyami Brown made the catch of the day from Brissett. We already talked about that. Zach Selby also says tweet loading a little slow today, but Dyami Brown was wide open early on the play and connected with Jacoby Brissett. I've always liked Dyami, and I'm curious to see how he develops during camp. Tay and Todd podcast, make sure you guys check them out. They're on YouTube as well. He says Sam Howell dart for a toe tap touchdown to Dyami Brown after bailing right in 7 for 8 now for Sam Howell. This is from Howell, stand account on Twitter at how.sunup. He says, practice over biggest takeaways. Howell has an elite level arm. First team offense could not function against top tier defensive linemen. Could spell trouble against the NFC East. Leno was not ready for Chase today. Clean wins like he had on the first play in strip sack. So once again, Chase Young was dominating Charles Leno. Charles Leno, remember, he got beat a couple times by Kayvon Thibodeau. That cost us the Giants game. And the offensive line is a big question mark. You know, how is Sadiq Charles going to do? Is Sam Cosmi going to stay healthy at right guard? Same thing with Nick Gates. Nick Gates had that catastrophic injury 2 years ago. He played 10 games last year, so he missed 7 games last season. And then Andrew Wiley did give up a bunch of pressures and sacks. So the offensive line certainly is a question mark. Health is a big question mark for this offensive line for sure, and depth is a question mark as well. He also said that Cole Turner has the speed. Brian Robertson is an improved route runner and receiver. The new stands are awesome. Everyone has a great view. The shuttle situation is a nightmare. Arrive before 8 a.m. to Dulles Town Center or just Uber over. 3 shuttles is ridiculous. And then the offense was taken off the field for a false start. The first team offense, Eric Bieniemy, was not playing around once again. He took them off the field for a false start. Let's see here. Any other notes? Yeah, this is from Bleeding Birdie and Gold. Eric Bieniemy kicked the ones off the field after a false start and a few negative plays. They haven't seen the field in about 10 minutes of real time, holding the boys accountable. So a lot of accountability from Eric Bieniemy. He's not playing around, man. If you're making mistakes, he will pull you off the field in practice. Matt Paris said defensive line had their way to start 11 on 11's first snap, chasing with a great get off against Charles Leno. Allen is sweat with collapsing pressure on second down. Howell had to escape the pocket a few times. So the offensive line, once again, it's a question mark. It was a big question mark last year. They did not play well. So let's see how they do this year. Zach Selby says defense is really getting after Sam Howell during blitz pickup. A reminder that Washington's defensive front is going to be a problem for everyone. Now, remember, there's no pads on, so it is an advantage for the defensive line to start off. But I do think that, you know, if we played a real game, I think our defensive line definitely would dominate for sure. And that's what they're supposed to do. When you have Chase Young, Deron Payne, John Allen, Montez Sweat, you have 4 first-round picks on the defensive line. That's what they're supposed to be doing. Lanell Williams also said the defense definitely winning the 7 versus 7 right now. Not a lot working for Sam Howell in the first team. Bleeding B&G also says Khalil Hudson and Cody Barton were your starting linebackers in the first 7 versus 7 period. Interesting. Jamin Davis did miss the entire OTA minicamp session, so something to look at. So I do think Jamin Davis will start day 1, but they're probably trying to ease him back into getting reps, and they'll get him back out there with the starters before preseason. All right, let's see here. So major takeaways. Grandpa said, just left Ashford after watching the second practice of training camp. I really liked what I saw from Dyami Brown. He was heavily involved and made the catch of the session on a bomb from Jacoby Brissett. I'm betting on seeing him more of this season. All right, and then Chase Young said that Mr. Harris isn't playing around talking about Josh Harris in the stands on the side. So that's pretty good to see. Ben Standing also says he kind of wonder if tight end Cole Turner ends up being their big receiver. So I would love to see that, man. Him being like another receiver, them lining him up in the slot too, because he played receiver in high school. I think he started out in college as a wide receiver, and then he transitioned to the tight end position. Also, I did get my information wrong yesterday. Sam Howell, he was not the football show, the quarterback show. They did not ask him to participate in it. He just said if he did get asked to do it, he would not do it. So I misspoke on that one. So I'll wrap it up for today. I don't want to keep these. I don't want to do these videos for longer than 10 minutes for you guys. I just want to keep it at 10 minutes. So this is about where it is right now. Of course, make sure you guys get these wagers in for Prize Picks, man. You use my promo code REAL@Oliver, you get 100% deposit match using my promo code down in the link, down in the description link down below. I would take the over on Dak Prescott's interceptions this season. He said he would get no more than 10, but he's definitely gonna get more than 10. I think he's gonna get like 13 or 14 picks this season. Emmanuel Forbes 2.5 picks. You can take the over on that, and Terry McLaurin 899 receiving yards. You definitely got to smash the over on that. He gets 1,000 yards every season. So, all right, you guys let me know what you guys think. Hail Commanders. Peace.